Ready, set, adventure! Welcome to Hikanuki World Tour as we sail the scenic Hubbard Glacier aboard Holland America's Nieuw Amsterdam. We'll enjoy plenty of onboard activities. We'll try our luck at bingo and in the casino. We'll have lunch at the buffet and enjoy dinner at the specialty restaurant Pinnacle Grill. So pack your bags, we're going to Alaska. Today is Monday and day 2 of our Alaskan cruise. We're aboard Holland America's Nieuw Amsterdam. Today is a day of scenic cruising and wildlife spotting as we approach the Hubbard Glacier. We'll start the day with breakfast at the Lido Market Buffet. It's definitely a popular spot for breakfast on a sea day. The main dining room is also open for breakfast. As I mentioned on our embarkation day video, on Holland America, the crew prepared the plates, even at the buffet. While it can sometimes slow things down just a bit, it's a great way to reduce the spread of germs.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
All right.
There's a made-to-order crepe station. Ask to have your crepe filled with strawberries, bananas, or Nutella. It looks like he's done this just a few times. Perfect crepes every time. It's a rather labor-intensive project, but the chef makes it look easy. I recommend trying a crepe at least once on your cruise. You can even top it with whipped cream for a sweet treat. Of course, there's other options as well.
Good morning!
Good morning.
You'll find plenty of bacon on the buffet, as well as other options such as smoked salmon and deli meats. And there are fresh bakery items as well. And who doesn't love a made-to-order omelet when on a cruise? I know I sure do. Lines tended to be a little bit long, but the crew worked hard and efficiently. I found that the omelets were definitely worth the wait. And don't miss the fresh fruit. And plenty of pastries to choose from. The buffet tended to be most crowded during breakfast and lunch as people chose other options for dinner. But we never had trouble finding a seat and it never felt too hectic. If the weather cooperates, you can also take your plate outside to the pool deck. Unfortunately, it was a little cool and rainy today, but that didn't stop us from taking a peek at the wake. The sea view bar was still rather quiet. And back inside?
Hi, good morning. My name is Novita. So now we are in the Lido Market. So let's see the Lido Market here.
Okay, thank you.
We headed to the omelet station before they closed it down.
Olives.
Oh, nice pasta.
How are you this morning, sir?
One of our favorite crew members, Jubilee, was hard at work. She was always friendly with a smile on her face. Overall, we felt that the crew of the Nieuw Amsterdam seemed happy and were always friendly. They worked tirelessly, but their smiles and happiness were contagious.
Hello.
Hello.
Patricia.
Oh, nice to see you. Thank you, Jubilee. It looks awesome. Perfect.
We found the Nieuw Amsterdam's breakfast buffet to be varied and always have good selections, especially the made-to-order omelets. Complimentary coffee was always available, and the eggs Benedict were assembled to order. And how's that for a perfectly poached egg? New York pizza was available starting at 11:30, and the Lido bar opened at 7 a.m. Mornings were also a good time to take a dip in the hot tub. It's always a good time to watch the wake. The pool area is not very busy on a rainy Alaskan day, but the bar sometimes is. Even though it was rainy, it was still about 55 degrees, so out of the wind it was rather pleasant. Some people were even wearing shorts. The indoor pool with retractable roof was a great place for the kids to play. Today they had a lot of merchandise for purchase around the pool. Choose from Holland America branded merchandise in their signature orange color. If you didn't bring binoculars, this is the perfect time to get some. You'll need them for wildlife spotting. We found the stores in the New Amsterdam to be rather sparse on merchandise, so this was a great place to supplement what they had for sale. You'll find Alaska branded merchandise here, as well as t-shirts from the ports that we're visiting. Pick up some cute slippers to keep your tootsies warm. There are plenty of indoor activities to enjoy on an Alaskan cruise. Challenge your friends to an exciting game of ping pong on these beautiful tables. Once you get good enough, you can even join one of the tournaments. We headed up to deck 11 to see what was going on up there. There was quite the long line for shore excursions. There are plenty of chairs and tables up here where you can relax or play a board game or cards. Since outdoor activities are limited on an Alaskan cruise, this was quite the busy area. The art studio is on deck 11, and they were just finishing up with a calligraphy lesson.
Hi, hello, welcome to the art studio. I am your art instructor on board. My name is Harry, but not Potter.
That's funny.
Harry will help you to develop your skills. The Crow's Nest Bar is a very popular place for coffees. Grab a coffee or another drink and sit down, relax, and enjoy the views. FYI, they do serve canned sodas. Even without a balcony cabin, there's plenty of places to relax and look out the window. In addition to board games, puzzles are available. Or maybe you prefer a game of chess. These were easily the most beautiful elevator doors we've ever seen on a cruise ship. The library is located on deck 3. They had a wide variety and interesting selection of books to choose from. Grab a book and enjoy it here, or head back up to the Crow's Nest. This was probably the busiest cruise ship library I've seen. And no ship would be complete without an Effie jewelry store. There were many beautiful pieces to choose from. All you need now is a big win in the casino. Be aware that while the ship will not collect a duty or tax on any purchases, you may be subject to pay taxes if you exceed your customs allowance. So it's something you should be aware of so that you're not surprised when you come back either to Canada or the US. In addition to Effie, you'll find watch stores and the ubiquitous Inch of Gold. Step out onto the deck on deck 3 and you can walk the entire way around the ship. But you may want to bundle up because it can get pretty windy. Back inside in the atrium, we looked to see what else was going on around the ship. There was flower arranging in the Rolling Stone Lounge.
Then, the baby's breath. Small cuttings or pieces of baby's breath in the front.
This was just an observation activity, and you didn't get to make one yourself. But it was informative.
G49.
Play bingo in the Billboard Onboard Lounge.
After B12, everyone, next number is N39.
Today's grand prize was $1,000. The casino's open today, so we have to go try our luck. First, let's grab a Bloody Mary. This guy looks lucky. It's only day 2, so we cashed out our winnings. We took our winnings and headed to the Rolling Stone Lounge for the presentation on Where Will You Cruise Next.
We are here once again to help you find where you will cruise next. All right, well, so what we're going to be doing in this presentation, we'll have a bit of a world tour, if you will. We'll talk about all the different regions that we sail to, the different types of areas and whatnot. But of course, 28 days on board, you can see and imagine that you are getting to see the full range of coastal Alaska and what it has to offer.
Watch your daily for information on the art auction. The clock on the wall says it's lunchtime, so we headed to the buffet. You can always grab a sandwich or some cheese and fruit. Or if you're really hungry, see what they're carving at the meat station. Today, the chef's special is Alaskan seafood paella. There's lots to choose from on the lunch buffet, and the crew are always friendly. While there may be no pub on board, you can still get fish and chips. As I've mentioned before, the crew handles the serving utensils at the buffet. This hopefully cuts down on the spread of germs. Plus, most wear gloves, which also helps. You can usually look forward to good Indian food on a cruise ship, and Holland America was no exception. Even though the buffet did get busy, we thought the flow of traffic was pretty good, and we were always able to find a seat.
Hello, nice to see you, Sirma. I can't talk to you.
Can we try the paella?
Paella,
Well, just a little, yeah, that'd be good.
Anything else for you, Sirma?
No, that's good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You have a wonderful day.
You too.
There was no shortage of fresh seafood on this cruise. After lunch, we headed to the World Theater for a presentation on Glacier Bay. Be sure to use the hidden cup holder in your armrest. Emrin was the wildlife guide on our ship. She shared tips to help make the most of our time today at Hubbard Glacier and tomorrow in Glacier Bay. She presented many interesting facts about the glaciers and about the local wildlife. Later in the day, when we were at Hubbard Glacier, she provided commentary. The captain opened up the bow so people could get a better look, and Emrin helped with wildlife spotting. She reminded us to get plenty of sleep tonight because tomorrow at Glacier Bay National Park was going to be busy. We were almost to the glacier, so we headed to the room to bundle up. The bow is accessible from Deck 5. It's impossible to truly capture the splendor of Alaska, so you'll just have to come see for yourself. You will want to be prepared though, so dress in layers and don't forget your binoculars. We didn't have a balcony cabin, but the view was going to be much better from the bow. Plus, when you're looking for wildlife, it's nice to be around more people because you have more eyes spotting. I thought the Alaskan cruise was an ideal way to see the last frontier. It is much different than a Caribbean cruise, but the scenery more than makes up for the chilly weather. Our first 2 days were basically sea days, but with stunning scenery. Although damp, I don't think daytime temperatures ever dipped below 50 degrees. We met a lot of friendly people, and everyone is nice to each other as far as letting you get up to the rail so that everyone gets an equal chance to see. It was fun to be in a group, and everyone seemed to be equally impressed with the scenery. How could you not be? Temperatures were relatively mild, but it's good to have a jacket with a hood or a hat, and it's always a good idea to layer. The water here by Hubbard's Glacier was surprisingly calm. There was some wind, but no real waves. The name of this bay is Disenchantment Bay. It was named this in 1792. Captain Alessandro Malaspina was searching for the Northwest Passage to the Atlantic Ocean. He found this area blocked with ice, thus leading to the disappointing name Disenchantment Bay. There was one excursion offered here, and that was a 2-hour catamaran trip to get closer to the glacier. How close your ship can get to the glacier and whether your ship can get into this area at all is dependent on the weather and the ice flow. Visiting earlier in the season may prevent you from getting as close as we did in mid-July. Hubbard Glacier is one of the largest glaciers you'll see on your cruise. This glacier is actually 76 miles long, and the face is up to 400 feet tall. You do really lose perspective though because there's no frame of reference. I think there are only about 300 seats available on the excursion. So if you want to get as close as possible to Hubbard Glacier, you'll have to book that excursion early. On our cruise, the excursion was about $350 per person. Depending on conditions, you can get within about a half mile of the glacier. You won't be getting off your catamaran, of course, but you'll be able to get some stunning photos, especially if the glacier calves. Calving is the process of ice falling off the glacier into the water below. It's a good reason why you don't want to get too close. Everyone knows what happens when boats get too close to icebergs. Don't worry about these folks though, everyone got back safely. We found it amazing to see all the chunks of ice. Glacial ice can be blue. This is due to the density of the ice. It absorbs every other color of the spectrum except blue, so that's why we see blue. While out on the bow, we got to meet Louis the lion and have our picture taken with him. Lions are a national symbol of strength and power in the Netherlands, and that's why Holland America adopted Louis as their mascot. And just like Holland America, we love Alaska too. Binoculars and cameras were out as we approached the glacier. Here's a better look at the blue of the glacier. And note how calm the water is. It's like glass. Let's take a few minutes to look and appreciate the beauty before the ship turns. Before the ship turned, we headed to the back of the ship. We beat the crowds and had a perfect railside position. Honestly, we couldn't get enough of this scenery. I think we were outside for about 3 hours. I was a little disappointed that we didn't see any of the sea mammals or birds here. Sometimes you can see orcas, seals, sea otters, bald eagles, or even mountain goats on the slopes of the mountains. But everything seemed to be in hiding today. Although we didn't see calving of the glacier, we did hear thunderous booms, so we know that it did. We did speak to someone who was on the catamaran excursion, and he had been able to capture some of the calving of the glacier. So I'd say he probably got his money's worth. Let's take one last look at Hubbard's Glacier before we have to depart. And all that fresh Alaskan air made us hungry. Tonight we're having dinner at the specialty restaurant Pinnacle Grill, which specializes in steak and seafood. So on second thought, maybe we'll skip the buffet tonight. But that didn't stop us from browsing. The Italian specialty restaurant Canaletto is located adjacent to the buffet, which I thought was a little strange. I was surprised as a specialty restaurant it didn't have its own dedicated space, but this is probably a reflection of the ship's age. And weakness struck when we saw the chef's special lobster mac and cheese.
Hello.
It was worth the stop, and while we were there, what about a little salmon and a little steak? And my personal favorite, the Asian sesame salad. It's still a few hours until dinner. We hopped on the Scenic elevator to go down to Deck 2. Once again, Austin was at Billboard on board. At 7:15, it was down to the theater for the captain's welcome.
Hi, everyone. Oh, we will. Thank you.
And a champagne toast.
Welcome everyone. How are you all? That is good. I'm so glad that you are here with us on this first resting night of the cruise. This is a wonderful ceremony that we're about to have. It's called the Captain's Welcome. This is where the master of this vessel comes up and he formally introduces himself and some of our senior officers to you. Captain Bas van Dremel.
I'd like to wish you a very warm welcome on board our beautiful and elegant MS Nieuw Amsterdam. And we hope you have a most enjoyable time with us. And as you see, you don't have to worry, as my glass is filled with PA, as I will be your designated driver this cruise. Here's to fair winds and following seas, and looking forward meeting you all. Here's to a wonderful cruise in Alaska. Thank you. Cheers.
Everyone, your senior officers of New Amsterdam.
Nightly music trivia and Billboard on board.
Hey, name of the song. You're the one that I want.
Yeah.
Song before the bonus.
What do you got there?
I have Buffalo Christmas Tabernacle.
Sounds perfect. Thank you.
Back to the theater for the show.
So, without further ado, here's the World Stage Repertory Company in Hits on 45.
There was no filming allowed, but we did enjoy this colorful show. Music was mostly from the 50s and 60s. We thought all the singers and dancers were quite talented and enjoyed the show.
Excellent time, Joe.
This was the 7:30 show, which was fairly well attended. Finally, it's 9:30, dinner time. The Pinnacle Grill is a specialty restaurant. It's an elegant space and specializes in steak and seafood. We had one specialty dining experience included in our Have It All package. Otherwise, I believe this was $39 plus gratuity. There were lots of tempting items on the Pinnacle Grill's menu. Here's a look at our Shaka food rating scale that we use. We started out with the bread and butter. For his appetizer, my husband chose the jumbo lump crab cake. He thought the exterior was crispy and lots of crab inside. Although it was small, it was quite good. He gave it 4 shakas, an excellent rating. I chose the steakhouse wedge salad. On another cruise line, the Cagney's wedge salad is one of my favorite things. Unfortunately, this one just wasn't that good. Blue cheese dressing would have elevated this salad. For an entree, my husband chose the grilled lamb chops. There really wasn't much of a char on the lamb chops, and he found them to be a bit too chewy. For a specialty restaurant, they fell short. I had the filet and lobster tail, and we shared the lobster. Like the lamb chops, the filet was not seared, but it was still tasty. I was actually surprised by the size of the lobster tail. My entree was superior to the lamb chops, and I thought it did belong in a specialty restaurant. Our waiter was kind enough to take the lobster out of the shell. Even for him, it was a bit difficult. There is a $12 upcharge for the lobster tail. We rated it a little above average because even though it was big, it was a little rubbery. My filet had good flavor and was seasoned well, so I gave it 4 shakas. All of our side items were good and met our expectations, and the butter certainly enhanced the flavor of the lobster. Cream spinach was also good, although a small portion, and I thought the sautéed mushrooms were excellent.
Welcome to Holland America Line. We are in Alaska. We are in Pinnacle Grill, fine dining restaurants.
And he was an amazing waiter. Everything was delicious, and he did a great job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to see
and
you.
when we go to Jakarta, we're going to stay at his house.
Please come.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For dessert, of course we had to try the Baked Alaska. It's ice cream with torched meringue, and this one was served with a cherry compote. When in Alaska, you have to try Baked Alaska, and this one was excellent. To end the meal, they surprised us with assorted macarons. And after a full, busy day, a little bear was in our room to greet us and wish us a good night. Thanks for joining us at Hikanuki World Tour on Holland America's Nieuw Amsterdam as we cruised the Hubbard Glacier. Our travel wisdom for today comes from Jeffrey Seeger. A journey into the Alaskan wilderness will leave you with an indelible impression that will stay with you forever. Be sure to subscribe to Hikanuki World Tour. If you liked the video, click that like button. And we'd love it if you'd leave us a comment. Please subscribe to Hikanuki World Tour as it really helps our channel grow. Hit that notification button so you'll know when our next video is dropped. And follow us on Instagram. We really appreciate your support.